Hello, welcome to the show. This is Emotional Badass, where Moxie meets mindful. I'm your host, life coach and psychotherapist, Nikki Eisenhower. I want to give you a little update on what's happening with Patreon and the podcast. Now, I typically don't talk about this stuff on the show. I might mention it in the Patreon, but I don't so much on the show. The simplest way I can put it is the algorithms, y'all, have become monsters. We've been doing this since 2018. That's a lot of years under our belt. And I can tell you, even though we don't show it and our team works really hard to compensate for it, every year things have been different. Podcasting, having a business online in this space, it really is like the wild, wild west. We're figuring out what we're doing and what directions to go in as we go. We thought maybe we were doing some things wrong. We thought we were bothering the YouTube algorithm. We thought we were hitting red flags. We're finding out, no, it works like this. Our content gets suppressed if we don't feed the algorithm the way it wants. The dilemma is that I have a lot of integrity about not being manipulated to say things that I don't want to say. So it's been a constant stressor and a constant struggle to work within the algorithms and for me to find my voice and hold my integrity. The days of organic growth online are mostly done. This is why you see so many content creators doing the exact same things, like the TikTok dances and the little challenges. That's not a coincidence. It's not because they're all fired up about doing that necessarily. They're doing that because if not, the algorithm suppresses your content. I don't like the idea that I should do the popular thing. I also don't like the idea that me and my team would put tremendous effort into content creation only to have a handful of people see it. So this parallels life. Just like in life, we don't often have the awesome choice and the really crappy choice. And obviously, we're going to choose the awesome choice. Sometimes it feels like a craptastic choice over here and a craptastic choice over there. And we have to figure out how to make it work in our lives. Because we can only control the factors that we can control. We have to work within the systems that are there to work within. In podcasting and all other areas of life. It's certainly imperfect, and it's uncomfortable, and it's frustrating, and it's challenging in ways that I don't want it to be, but have to accept that it just is. So we're going to work these funky algorithms. Because this is part of how we get sponsors for the show. It's part of how I pay my team, and I cannot produce the show without a team. We're going to work these funky algorithms, and we're going to try to be as true to the content that I want to release that I think will serve you the best as we possibly can. Patreon is becoming increasingly important to us because of this. Patreon is where we have no interest in any kind of reach or any kind of algorithm because it's for the super fans. Y'all have already decided to be there. I don't have to play games with that algorithm to try to reach you because you're there. That means that the Patreon exclusive episodes, we release one a month there, are going to be the most organic episodes. It's going to be where I get to be the most real, where I don't have to even consider how I'm titling something or what I might say or how it might flop. I really can just be me and give you more of me. So the Patreon, it's for super fans. It's for people who really want to immerse themselves in what I'm doing, in the work, in the language, even in just casually being around other people that are drawn to the same. If you're interested in that, if you're resonating with what I'm saying, or you feel moved to join our Patreon, come hang out. Patreon.com/emotionalbadass. This year, we made a really big change. We're putting all of our episodes on Patreon. So if you're on the Patreon, you don't just get the exclusive episode, you get all the other episodes without any commercials. That's really what I wanted for the show, a commercial-free show. But again, I got to work within the systems. The way people pay their teams as podcasters is sponsorships. And we get sponsorships when we have the numbers that impress the sponsors. So we're doing a big push to invite you to the Patreon. One of my favorite things to do every month is our Patreon live stream Q&A. You can participate live with me. I'm live in those on the Q&As where you're interacting with me and other members through chat. It gives me a chance to connect with you in real time The last topic was spirituality. It gives you a chance to connect with me at a cost level on Patreon of $10 a month to ask a professional a question, a deep question, a nuanced question, a question to someone who can understand and break down the sensitive nuance. And I know that that's what so many of you are craving. I don't know if we've ever gotten a question on the live stream that wasn't deep, nuanced, full of personal responsibility, full of drive to grow and really figure it out. We're living through a time where a lot of people ask me privately, like, how do we have hope in humanity with everything that's going on? Sometimes people say that nonchalantly, kind of with a smirk or some sarcasm. Sometimes people mean that in a very genuine way. I have to tell you that my work is part of how I have hope in humanity. Watching people grow and evolve gives me hope in this humanity. It's very easy to look out at the world and play I Spy with who gives the finger to self-development, who goes out of their way to stay in their broken patterns in a way that can feel heavy, sad, grief-ridden. Every question that comes in for me to address on the live stream Q&As is such a nugget of hope, because we all get to watch in real time as that person connects some dots. I get to ask you, hey, how was that answer for you? Hey, did my answer upset you? Did it relieve you? How did you receive that? How did everybody else here receive that? To be able to have that kind of depth dialogue and have it be easy. You don't have to be part of a program. You don't have to be screened and vetted. I really do go into that space like it's the healthiest, happiest little corner of the internet. When you show up and ask a question, you get to work at your level of growth, wherever you are. For some people, submitting a question is a very big, vulnerable deal. For others, giving themselves permission to interact with the other participants. For some people, that Patreon interaction may be the first steps into connecting with and sharing a part of themselves, even through digital tech, with people that have a similar depth. I don't know how to put into words. I'm good with words, y'all. I don't know how to put into words what that does for me in terms of hope in humanity. I very much believe that it is seekers that are healing this planet right now, because we are seeking something better. We are dissatisfied with how things are in the healthiest way. And many of us have what I would call a beautiful stubbornness, that we will not just lie down and settle for the crappy way that it is. We are going to seek betterment in ourselves and in the world. When a highly sensitive person learns how to do that, embody that, be that without taking on the weight of the world, y'all, we are unstoppable. Join the community at patreon.com/emotionalbadass. When you come and submit a question, you're not just submitting that question for you. You're submitting that question for everyone else who either hasn't figured out that that's a question they have yet, or hasn't found the courage to ask it. It moves me to tears when I see people who have never met each other in the chat, encouraging each other, offering messages of, I see you, you've got this. I was where you were last year and now I'm in a different place. Keep going. I have tremendous hope in humanity. And part of that is what y'all give me back for doing the show by being in that Patreon. So thank you for the hope. Thank you for the insight. Thank you for the depth. Thank you for the vulnerability. Because yeah, it's powerful when I'm sharing it. Yeah, I'm the expert. Okay. It's even more powerful when y'all share it amongst each other. I love being able to be the guide in there. I love being able to be the guide of the adult voice. I love to be able to model being the adult for so many people that come from family systems where people were certainly the age of adults, but maybe didn't have the maturity or the wisdom to adult for their children. If it does not work for your life or your schedule to be at the live streams live, that's totally okay. All of them are archived. They're waiting for you. You are welcome to submit a question, and it's okay to not be there live. I am very driven to make healing and self-expansion as easy and accessible as is humanly possible. That's what I want for you. Because when we are struggling to heal, we don't have a lot of bandwidth. Everything that we design, even the live stream Q&As that are monthly in the Patreon, are designed to be easy peasy, low stress, easily accessible. You just kind of show up. I picture y'all listening to the live streams that are archived, doing laundry and taking the dog for a walk, maybe taking a nice bath with a candle. We have over 100 hours of exclusive audio and video that you can listen to immerse yourself in this healing language anytime you want, on your schedule at your convenience. We also give graphics that pair with most of the episodes. We do this because it increases the likelihood that you're going to retain this information. If you can hear it through your ears and then see it with your eyes, take it in by reading it as well as listening to it, you're more likely to integrate and retain the information. This will increase your learning. These are really complex, complicated concepts that I'm speaking of, even when I do my very best to simplify them. I want you to be able to have retention over these emotionally deep and freedom-fueling concepts that I teach. Patreon members also get a 50% off to the Peace course. If you're not in Patreon, the best coupon code you're going to get is 30% off. The next group moves through the course on the 1st. That's in a few days. Here are some recent quotes from Emotional Strength Training 30 Days to Peace. This is so beautiful. I so easily forget what a miracle my body is. I so easily forget to appreciate it. Instead, I give it self-hate messages about the parts I don't like the looks of. So silly, really. As a nurse, I also think about everything that goes on at a molecular level. All the many processes, probably billions of exchanges if you count the many goings-on with each cell. The things on the atomic level that we don't even understand. We don't even understand what holds us together. We are miracles, and we get to have more peace, y'all. 2 more quickies. Thank you for this. I didn't realize I had so many pent-up emotions until I took a moment to check in with myself. I even cried a little. I already feel a little more peaceful in my body as I begin my day. 5 to 15 minutes, y'all. Most of them are 7 to 10 minutes for 30 days to practice peace. Wow, this is a powerful grounding exercise. It brought a lot of awareness to feelings I was feeling, but didn't know I was feeling them in my body. I'm excited to finally take part in one of your programs. Y'all, these quotes are from a few people that took the course last month. The course starts on the 1st of the month, and we're about to start in August again. If you don't feel like you have bodily peace, if you understand that you deserve peace, that you have a right to peace, that peace is available and you give yourself permission to have it, you just can't make your body feel what your mind knows, please consider ending your summer practicing peace. Come get that bigger coupon where you get the course for half price. Join our Patreon. Come hang out with me and all of the Patreon members at patreon.com/emotionalbadass. Part of what we talk about in there is boundaries. I will never pressure you to stay. In fact, I will encourage you to come and go as you please if that's part of what you need to work on, is not feeling beholden. There are so many ways, there are so many layers that you can use the show and the Patreon to help yourself work with your own people-pleasing, your own self-evolution, your own emotional growth process. What I want for you is what I've wanted for me all of my life. Great peace, nervous system integration, confidence, and an ability to walk the world grounded instead of anxious, frightened, and overwhelmed. Thank you for all of these years holding space for me. Thank you to all of our Patreon people. And thank you so much to listeners that have been with us for a long time. It is only with your help that this show is downloaded in over 100 countries all over the world. It is amazing because as highly sensitive people, we are 15 to 20% of the population, y'all. The fact that Emotional Badass still charts in the top 200 of mental health in multiple countries, kind of on and off all throughout the year, is amazing. Every human being is worthy to understand themselves with more depth, more emotional intelligence. That helps us mature. It helps us weather everything that is difficult in life. And me and my team, we can put out all the content in the world. If you don't share the show, like the show, subscribe, comment to work these algorithms, it just dies on the vine. The spreading of this emotional information is because of you. Thank you. And if it's hard for you to sit in gratitude for who you are and what you do, if you always feel a sense of not good enough, I want to encourage you to sit with my words and please allow me to genuinely thank you. Thank you for your efforts. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for expanding yourself. Thank you for seeking. Thank you for being 15 to 20% of the population that is different. Thank you for learning how to embrace yourself and being part of changing and healing this world one person at a time by starting with you. Light and love. I'm an emotional badass. You are an emotional badass. And together we are where Moxie meets mindful.